Hey Virgo, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we are doing predictions for you for the month of December. This may apply to Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest that doesn't. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com, and if you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. So let's get right into it. And see what's going on for you this month. I hope that the month has been treating you well, by the way. I'm a little late on readings, but you know, life. So let's see what's going on for you in December. I can't believe it's the end of the year. That's crazy, bro. It's wild. All right, so Five of Swords reverse is the first thing that came out. Okay, Five of Swords reverse. Okay, so mental conflict, possibly focusing on really petty details, overthinking, fixating on irrelevant details. That's kind of what it looks like. I wonder what that is. That's very un-Virgo of you. I'm just kidding. It's very Virgo of you. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, so possibly trying to ignore something. And then Nine of Cups, or no, not Nine of Cups. Seven of Cups reversed. Interesting. Okay, so feeling disillusioned about something. I wonder what this is about. We have the King of Cups, so maybe this is you or another person trying to keep your emotions controlled. Five of Pentacles reversed. And then the Emperor card, and then bottom of the deck is a Six of Cups reversed. Under that is a Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so Six of Cups reversed. So this has to deal, it kind of feels like either some of you are growing up or entering a different stage of your life, or there's this sort of, I guess, cognitive dissonance between what reality is versus what you think it should be, if that kind of makes sense. You want things to be one way, but they're not, and so it's making you uncomfortable. And I wonder if some of you are really pessimistic about that. It's almost like you have this certain goal, if you will, or you have this certain vision that you have a certain vision of yourself or where you want to be, and it seems like maybe you feel as though you haven't reached that point. Can you see that, bitch? Oh my god, that was in the whole videos. The other, god damn, you know. Okay. Okay, so you have this vision of where you want to be, or who you want to be, or how far you want to be along your career path, or whatever the case may be, right? You have that image, and it feels that it's almost like you feel like you're behind schedule, and that makes you feel really uncomfortable and feel really out of control, and it almost feels as though you're really hard on yourself because of that, because it's like you think, I'm at this certain age, so I should have this and this and this accomplished, or I'm at this job, so I should have been promoted to this position by this time, but I'm not making enough progress right now, or I'm not making progress quick enough right now. And the thing about that is, like, you know, like, life is the way that it is, and people go at their own pace, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you are incompetent in some sort of way. It doesn't make you like any less than or any less worthy of whatever. It just means that you're going at your own pace. It doesn't mean that you're behind. You're not necessarily behind schedule. It's your own schedule that you're behind, but that schedule can change. You can change that whenever you want to. It doesn't have to be something rigid. It doesn't have to be something really fixed and just stuck on one thing. You know, I feel like this month is really almost like a wake-up call for you to be flexible, and to be flexible with yourself specifically, to release any sort of like rigid idea of where you think that you should be, and just allow yourself to be in the moment, and to realize that you are making the progress that you are making, however quickly or slowly you think it is, you are working towards your goal, whatever that might be. You're working towards your ultimate ideal. Okay, so with that Four of Swords, nitpicking about things isn't going to make it any better. It's like nitpicking towards yourself or towards others or towards what you think you should be or what you should be doing or whatever the case may be. It's not going to make you go any quicker. If anything, it's probably just going to stress you out and just make you feel unmotivated or make you feel incompetent in some sort of way. And like, that's just not, it's not realistic. You will make the progress that you need to make at your own pace. And once things are ready to fall into place for you, you know, like there's no point in trying to force yourself to reach a certain place in your life and exhausting yourself and stressing yourself out in the meantime, if that kind of makes sense. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day, if you will. And if you're trying to achieve, for example, a certain career that is very successful and you want to be making a certain amount of money, that's probably going to take some time. It's not going to be something that takes just a few months' time or a few years' time. It's probably going to take a little longer than just a year or two. And there are probably going to be roadblocks that you encounter along the way, and that is more than okay. And it's okay if you end up getting delayed or if other things come up that you need to focus on, you know. That doesn't make you any less worthy of reaching that goal, or it doesn't make you like I said, it doesn't make you incompetent or unworthy or whatever the case may be. Like, it doesn't make you less than, it just makes you human. And there are certain lessons that you might need to learn before you reach that certain goal, if you will. So yes, so we have this Two of Swords, which is like, it kind of feels like you might be trying to ignore certain things, or almost like ignoring all the bad, or trying to ignore all the bad. It almost kind of feels like trying to suppress or like repress all of the stress that you are actually under. It kind of feels that you're trying to hide this, or trying to make it seem like you're okay and that everything is fine and that you're not actually stressed, but in reality you are very much stressed out. And it's almost like you either don't want to ask for help, or you don't want people to think that you're going through it, or you don't want people to think of you in a certain way or to perceive you a certain way. It's like you want people to think that you always have it together, when that's just not fair to you and it's not realistic, because everyone else goes through their own shit as well. And that doesn't make you weird or whatever the case may be, or like somehow a failure if you show that you're struggling through something, or that you're really stressed out and could possibly really use some assistance, or whatever the case may be. It also kind of feels with this Two of Swords, there's this sort of blind hope that everything will work out at the end of the day, or that it's almost like a sort of like you possibly even being in denial that you need help, or you being in denial that you're just stressed the fuck out, if that kind of makes sense. And then we have this Seven of Cups reverse, which is like disillusionment, possibly feeling disappointed in yourself. It's like feeling discouraged, if you will, feeling like I'm never gonna reach this goal, I'm never gonna make it to this point, I'm never gonna do this, I'm never gonna do that, but how do you know? You know? And with that Five of Swords, this is showing me that you're focusing on all of the wrong details. And with the Five of Pentacles reversed, it's like you're focusing on the wrong details right now, you're fixating on the wrong things right now. Rather than focusing on everything that's going wrong or what you perceive as going wrong, focus on what's going right, and focus on what you can do to fix whatever is going wrong. And I'm putting quotes around that, like whatever is going wrong, like, is it actually going wrong, or are you just being taken a slightly different path right now, or are you just being guided to do things a little bit differently? Or yeah, like are you just being pushed to approach something differently, or to take a slightly different path, or whatever the case may be? You know, what is the more, I guess, optimistic view of all of this. And with this Emperor card, this to me reads as like self-discipline and controlled strength, if you will. Brute force isn't always going to get you what you want. It's not always going to get you the results that you were looking for. Sometimes it's a controlled type of strength that comes from self-discipline and an inner authority, if you will, that gets you what you need. Also, this is telling me that it's really important for you to empower yourself and to realize that you are that bitch, that you are that person, that you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. And it's you will be able to get to this point of being the leader of your life or the boss of your own life. Or the provider in one way or another. You will be able to reach this point. You will be able to reach that leader position or whatever the case may be. It's probably going to take some time, but that's more than okay. And it's really worth releasing this expectation, this reality versus expectation type of thing, because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't help you. If anything, it just puts more pressure on you and it discourages you. And with this King of Cups, this is showing me to really sit down with what you're feeling, to sit down with what you're experiencing, and to ask yourself, what is rational and what is irrational, what is fair and what is unfair to you, what is how can you, I guess, regulate your emotions in a way in which they are not overruling you and they are not controlling over you, and they are not and you're not coming from a place of fear or anxiety, but you're coming from a place of controlled emotions and being able to look at things objectively and being able to manage things in a healthy manner, rather than like being hard on yourself or self-deprecating in some sort of way, or even like punishing yourself, if you will, for your quote unquote failures. Like, you're not failing if you are not going at a certain pace or you're not reaching certain goals by a certain time. You know, that just, again, it just makes you human. So yeah, so I would really suggest for you, Virgo, to begin focusing on what is going right and to look at things differently, to focus on these perceived failures differently. How are these failures successes? How are these delays something that you can use to your advantage? How are they something that are blessings in disguise? How are they somehow beneficial to you? Does that kind of make sense? And don't be so quick to give up on yourself. Don't be so quick to just, throw in the towel just because things aren't going your way. I like with Virgo energy, I have learned that they can be kind of like control freaks, right? And you want things to be done by a certain time and you want to have a very specific schedule, but that schedule can be fluid. It doesn't have to be a rigid thing. And if you don't reach certain things by a certain time, that doesn't make you less of a person or a failure or less successful. That's just the way that life is taking you. So how can you make the best of it? And how can you just help yourself, maybe, and again, with this Five of Pentacles reverse, maybe it's really worth asking for help. If you need help, ask for it. If there's someone that you can reach out to, if there's some sort of professional guidance that you can look for, go for it. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in your game. You don't have to do everything on your own. You don't have to carry all of these burdens on your own. If you need the guidance or assistance or the advice of others or the counseling of others, if you will, there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, it's not wrong for you to be honest about needing help. If trying to put up an image or trying to act as if everything is fine, that only hurts you. So yes, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that resonates. I hope you were able to get something out of this. And with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye.